Hi, guys, and welcome to another episode of Can We Talk? My name's Andy.
And I'm Andy's wife. Welcome, guys. Thank you for embracing this title with me.
All right. Okay. So Mrs. H and Tong is not sticking.
No, Mrs. H is it is there, but I choose to use Andy's wife for this one.
All right.
Yeah, it has a different flair to it.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Just for this one.
Oh, just for this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. For just for the Can We Talk conversation, you are Andy's wife.
Yes, maybe I'll change, but I'm still flowing with Andy's wife.
All right. Interesting. Hope you had a good week.
Yeah, my week was interesting. It was good. Lots of work and lots of catching up, but generally it was a good week. And how was your week?
It was okay. I took a break and I went onto social media, and there was this funny post there where guys were sitting on a car trunk or bonnet,
Yeah.
and they were sitting and talking, and then they were like, "Yo, this is how life used to be when we were growing up, when there was no social media and things like that."
Yeah. And it was so beautiful because it was very authentic. Let me put it that way.
All right.
Now people are trying to become what they are not, all in the name of social media. We are posting things because of pressure. We're becoming what we are not because of pressure.
Yeah.
But I remember growing up, we used to play. Like it was
Outside,
really fun. It was really fun. I know you were once given a beating. Because you played so
Came
much.
home late,
Yeah, and you forgot to go home. Let's not say you went home late. You forgot to go home.
Yeah, not really. I'm just like, you remember that meme of that boy who says, "Here comes the hero," after scoring so many goals. I think it's speaking about me.
Yeah. But it used to be so fun.
Yeah.
And you'd get in trouble for waking up in the morning and going to play and coming back late.
Yeah.
But I wonder if our parents knew that the world was going to end up like this. Like, I think had they known what we know now, they would have allowed us to play.
Definitely. I don't think even ourselves did ever dreamed of having a life like this. I mean, even TV, we would watch TV, but it wasn't, you had your favorite shows, your cartoons, but really it was more outside and connecting with people outside.
What was your favorite cartoon?
Well, there was one called Cops out. I remember Voltron.
Okay.
So go Voltron.
Power Rangers?
Power Rangers was a bit old. I know it, but I was a bit older to remember.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, goes to show how old I am.
Yeah, but those were the beautiful moments. And then social media came in and things have changed.
Yeah.
How are you embracing social media? Do you think it has an impact in relationships, or I don't know. Do you think it has an impact in relationships?
Definitely. With the advancements of technology and social media coming up, we are now more connected to everyone globally faster than there were in times before. I remember when Dad went to the US in 96. We got a postcard on our birthday.
Oh, wow.
My brother
that was
and I.
So beautiful.
So then he would only explain on the other side what on this postcard. So what's on the other side? This is what it means. And so that was as much as you knew you could get. But now within 30 seconds, you can get all that and more. On that. So with the advancements of technology and social media, it does have impact also when it comes to relationships one with another.
And even I can relate to what you're talking about. I have cousins that I'm very connected with now, most of which you are connected to as well. But growing up, we were never connected because they were in the UK. And we would speak once in a while. I don't even remember when they used to come to Zimbabwe, but it was rare. They never used to come as often as possible. All they could do was to send clothes, and you, the only way you could say thank you was maybe through a relative who had a landline, and they had a way to call them. So connection was just, it was something else. But now we can communicate. We speak for hours over the phone, and it's so beautiful.
It's affordable.
Yes, now it's affordable because we can use WhatsApp. We can use other platforms as well. We can see what's happening in their lives, and they can see what is happening in our lives. So
almost instantaneously.
Indeed. So, that is the beauty of social media.
So that I mean, also as a pairing, a good pairing and a not so good pairing as well. I mean, I'm an X fanatic, so I'm always on X more than I should, admittedly. So and you get to see some of the stories.
For those that do not know, what is X?
Former Twitter. Former Twitter.
I cannot be the only one who doesn't know this. No, I do know. You educated me. I wasn't aware because I'm not a Twitter fan. I've never joined Twitter. I've never even tried.
Please don't.
You always say. Clearly, I'm a submissive wife,
Really?
You speak, I listen.
Yeah, wow. The head of the home has spoken.
He has spoken. No Twitter account.
Okay, all right, But I think when it comes to social media, like I said, I'm an X fan or a Twitter fan. And some of the things that you see have got a pairing on relationships. You end up comparing yourself.
Right.
So sometimes it's good, or you can draw lessons, definitely, but some of the things are not so good because I don't think they're even real. Or some of the things that they post. So, for example, there's certain things that I only understood after I got married that I thought, were real. But when you've been married, especially for as long as we are, few years that it has been, you begin to see that was not even real. But it's too late because you've already got a certain picture and it gives a certain expectation from your partner. And when you see certain people living the lives that they live or lead.
Indeed. And it comes with so much pressure. Like I think I mentioned that, you tend to want more in life. What if that, I'm not saying people should be comfortable in the space that they are in, but I'm saying allow the process to unveil itself. Allow yourself to go through the process. Don't rush into other things. We end up wanting the money that we cannot have at the moment. We end up not wanting to work hard because we are thinking so and so is not even, they are just on social media and they are excelling in life. So let me just go through that route. But we forget that they had to go through a process as well for them to be able to afford that Dubai trip, for them to be able to afford that that car that they are posting. They had to work extra hard for it. Everything comes with hard work. But social media has given us a picture of a simple life. Things can be simple. You can do this within a second. And now there's AI. It's getting worse and worse.
So I think that's what I find, that sometimes it gives unnecessary pressure on a relationship. I don't like to use this word. It's a good word. It's an okay word, but it ends up becoming a comparison. And then you end up having certain pictures in your mind. And if your spouse cannot do that or give whatever social media has, you feel like you're unhappy and you're feeling like you're in a very unhappy relationship. So that really is on the downside of relationship. There is this one guy though, he's also posting on Twitter. When I shared with people, with colleagues at work, they wanted to custom things out of me because when I follow this guy I won't name him, but I think he's against women. So he always downgrades women or bashes women with his words and so on. So too much of him can really affect you. I think you might just still view women differently. So I think he's got a very large following. So it does have a downside to it.
And the other drawback of social media, I just I said it gets worse. Because it's a joke.
Yeah.
Like there's a song that says the pressure's getting worse.
Oh wow. Okay.
Now I'm saying worse and worse, which is But anyways, and that's the other drawback of social media. And what about in marriage?
Oh wow, this is a beautiful one for me. You can be perfect strangers while staying under the same roof. Social media is so addictive. And before you know it, you're no longer spending time together because each one is on their device and connecting to other people on for other things and for other reasons. And you're now breaking the bond between one and the other. I think it's unhealthy. It was partly why we have this personal thing that I then came up with at home to say no phones in the bedroom. You know, if it's in the bedroom, the
man of the house.
Yeah,
the man of the home.
So, let's try and not take our devices to the bedroom. I do have a clip of a YouTube video where in its upper time there's a bowl where they put the phones in the bowl because when they're trying to talk to each other and have a family meal, the father can't even talk to his kids or let alone his wife. It's a hilarious thing. And so where he's really saying, my phone. You see, it's now just so addictive and you're no longer connecting to the people around you that are with you. And that really can break down relationships and you can be so unhappy because you're not perfect strangers. You have grown apart because you're not growing in this route and your partner is growing in a totally different route. I think it's terrible. It's terrible.
And I remember something very funny that I saw on social media again. So during COVID, people were posting almost on every platform that, oh guys, these people are not really bad. I've spent so many days with them. So try it out with your spouse, with your family. Put phones aside and try to have a communication. You'll figure out that they are not bad people after all. But I really do respect that, and I see where you'll be coming from with putting your phones away because you end up not knowing what would have happened during the day to the next person because you're always communicating and connecting with people that are not even closer to you. Yet you could have done something to assist them, or you could have found a solution together in the problem that they are facing. But because you are so engrossed in your phone, you don't even know what is happening in their lives. So communication, that communication part is taken away.
Definitely.
You're communicating with other people and not with the person who is in your proximity.
Yeah. Also above communication or head in glove with communication, it's the companionship aspect. I guess for me, that's a love language. I know it's not under Gary Chapman's, but the companionship.
We are adding one.
The companionship aspect for me. So I think that's really, really works for me. So where we are then having some. So perhaps it's quality time if you were to use Gary Chapman's things. But so if you so engrossed in social media or in your device, it could even be work or things like that where you're bringing work home and then you're now losing even the companionship aspect with your partner and with your kids and so on.
I think that's another angle because we are thinking social media in terms of entertainment, but when you're bringing work now, it's another angle that we think it's necessary. I'm bringing money home. But what about making the next person happy? Because money will never, it adds happiness, but it doesn't really cover that connection, So as much as we all want to work and have through some lots and lots of money, but companionship, like you said, is very essential and important. You can have all the money in the world, but it can never make you happy.
Definitely.
It can never give you as much joy as you can get in having a conversation with the next person. And there is something about speaking to each other, not over the phone, but it keeps you connected. It keeps you in love for those that are married. It keeps you in a certain level. You get to talk about things that you wouldn't ordinarily speak about over the phone. You know, you are getting to see the tone, to hear the tone. You're getting to see the reaction. Yes. And when you give your opinion, you get to see how they are accepting it, you know, all those things. So I really appreciate that.
But it's not entirely bad. Social media is not entirely bad. I'm the first one to admit as well, because even with social media, we found some very positive things. So I am listening to podcasts now, and I'm beginning to find podcasts even on marriage, on things that I'd like to grow in. Last time we spoke about growth in relationship, and I'm finding some of this material through social media. So there is a podcast, there's a Facebook page, you know, and so on, a Spotify account that you can listen to. So there is a plus side, or there is a positive side. So where you're able to now then connect with people, you know, globally, and you see that issues are not unique to yourself, and that way it also has a way of carrying the pressure or lifting the pressure that comes with anything in the form of life. So if you're able to connect, you know, people are now forming some of these groups using the technology that we have. So admittedly, it does have a positive bearing as well. It's not entirely bad.
No, it's not. It's not, and it's an easy market. Because if you are to see the environment that we are in, shout out to all Zimbabweans, you know, we are living in a different economy. Everyone is an entrepreneur. It's either you're working and you're hustling, or you're hustling and, you know, so there is something that someone is doing. And if you're not hustling, you are involved in something that you have to broadcast or share about, you know, all those things. So it makes life easy that way. You can share about your business. You can share about the things that you're doing on social media. At some point, I know the government once banned people for posting rates.
For the exchange rates. Parallel market exchange rates.
Then people took it a notch higher, and they were saying they were posting emojis to say exchange rate. I can't remember what they used, but you could see that
this is an exchange rate.
Zimbabweans are the most, they are the most creative people. They are the most creative people, and we find joy in social media. I think that's the other thing.
Humor,
the humor, because had we been in different times, remember 2008 when we had to queue for things and the shops were empty. I'm sure someone could have found something to say about that situation at that time.
Definitely. I mean, I do have one where somebody says I found a queue and I just joined the queue because it was such a, you know, it's times of hunger.
And
you
just joined.
And people were body viewing because they just saw a queue and I joined it. And then at the end of the queue, people were just walking past the coffee. So whether that's true or not, those were the jokes that were circulating at that time.
So, you know, it makes the situation lighter. You know, we find joy in such situations. And even when the Minister of Finance posts something and we just find something to say about it and laugh about it, laugh about the new currency. And, you know, I'm sure the State House is always wondering how those people are doing. Like, we bring in new things, but they are not knocked down. You know, they somehow find ways of surviving. And I think one tool is social media as well. It has helped us to stay sane, to keep sane.
In such challenging times,
yes,
definitely.
Indeed.
So we know, but at the end of it all, we need to find the ways of striking a balance between the two, especially when it comes to relationships. Say you should be able to make time for each other in a relationship, whatever relationship is, could be a parent and a child, a man and wife, and so on. Make time for each other. Make time to upbring your child as well. Be involved in your child's life. But you can learn. You can draw lessons. So even when you do go online, you do draw lessons here and there. Take what you can. I mean, there are some hideous things. I mean, there's this guy with a secret link. So you join his link. I have no idea why I always read those posts. It's terrible. I would never recommend it to anyone. Somehow, I always go and read, and
you feel bad.
I always regret, but when it comes again, I always go back to it. But it's terrible.
Yeah.
So we should really filter what we go and view and what we read and we spend and entertain ourselves with, because you can be depressed out there. There is one or two things that I'd rather not. As well. So and find ways of balance.
Is social media an enemy of progress?
I would like to use words that were said by someone recently who says, it's already there. Let's just embrace it and find ways of working with it. So if we fight it too much, I think it will come, with vengeance. It comes even. But if we understand it, find ways of working and coping and working around it, I think it will work much, much easier. We'll be able to live. So I wouldn't call it an enemy of progress. I think it's what we have now is where we are.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
So it's all about finding how best you can progress in life using social media. And creating platforms for growth, creating platforms for beautiful things, beautiful memories, through social media.
Yeah, definitely. So any application, any takeaway that you'll be doing yourself. I've been speaking about what to do and what not to do. Any takeaway from you as we draw this to a close?
My takeaway would be finding ways, what I just said, finding ways of making social media useful to me. At times it can be, it can lead you to the other side, to the extreme end, where you're forced to watch, TikTok videos every time, but we should find progress in it. We should find ways of growing. We should find ways of improving ourselves. If it means I'm using it for studying, then that should let me be I should be disciplined and try by all means to study and not focus on other things. And if it's time to enjoy or communicate with family, then I should use it for that. But social media is good and bad, but find the good things in it. Someone once said, if you are in it, you might as well enjoy it.
Oh, wow.
So,
interesting. Well, I hope our producer gives our viewers or listeners an opportunity to comment, and perhaps maybe they'll share what their thoughts are on social media. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it an enemy of progress? What they are doing differently that builds more than it destroys, or any hard lessons that they have learned because of what social media has done.
And what you said, we should embrace it because it is there. If our parents are if you have those parents that are very old who are still struggling, you see typing for 1 hour, they are already trying, making an effort. So why should we not?
So thank you so much, guys. It's another episode of Can We Talk with my name is Andy.
And I'm Andy's wife.
Thank you.
We're closing.
Until next time. Thank you so much.